Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my e-scrap gold recovery video. So today we've got over 2 kilos, 280 grams to be exact, of trimmed ram sticks. So I'm expecting a pretty good yield out of this one. So what we're going to do this time, dissolve all the base metals holding all these gold flakes. Have the flakes come off, and then we can process the flakes individually. So this time what we're going to use is I'm going to use a hydrochloric acid and hydrogen peroxide mix. Now I had a lot of comments on why I didn't do that last time. Well, so last time I was expecting there to be very thin gold plating on the circuit ends. And so if I did get anything to come off, it would probably be just super fine powder. These will come off in little gold flakes. I've done these a few times. I've got a little bit of experience with these. So I know this is a good technique for this one. On the last one, I just didn't think that the gold plating would come off to in a usable way. I'd probably end up just losing a lot of it. That's why I went straight Aqua Regia on that one. This one, we're going to get them off and then going to process the gold flakes individually. So what I'm going to do is I got too much again. I'm not going to go into my beaker. I'm going to go back straight into my 5-gallon bucket. Mix in some hydrochloric acid and hydrogen peroxide. That'll slowly dissolve the base metals holding these gold plates on there. I don't think there's going to be any silver. I'm not going to attempt to go for any silver on these. There shouldn't be. It's probably just a little bit of a copper base underneath these gold flakes. So I'm going to put them in. I'm going to let them sit for a few days just to give it a chance to get every single gold flake off of these. It's a little bit of a slower process, but that's okay. I'll put them all in here in my garage, and then I'll set it out back for a few days, and we'll get it all filtered out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. See, this is a lot. This is way more than I've ever had of these. So let's see. That's quite a bit of sticks. Alright, now I'm just going to cover all the sticks with hydrochloric acid. Okay, I'm not really going to measure this out. Some people use kind of a 3-to-1 on this. So that's probably going to be around about where we're going to be at anyway. But I'm going to take just about a bottle of hydrogen peroxide and go ahead and add it to it. Okay, not even a bottle, I'll probably do. Now as you can see, it's already starting to turn colors, getting a green color coming to it. So after a few days, these gold flakes will be just floating around in that liquid in there. I'm going to give it a stir every other day. I have an air bubbler, but something this size I don't think will be very effective. Normally I would put an air bubbler in there just to keep it agitated so the gold flakes come off easier. But in this case, I'll just stir it every other day and that should be just fine. All right, I'm gonna take it out back now. Okay, I got my bucket moved out back. I got it all taped up to keep it safe. Got the lid on it. I'm just gonna stick it underneath the table here. Come back, just keep checking it every day, giving it a stir, just seeing what it looks like. Probably take about 3 or 4 days to get all the gold flakes to come off. And then we'll start processing the gold flakes. All right, see you in a few days. Okay, everybody, it's been about 5 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look, see what we got. You see we got a nice black color in there. You can see some foils kind of floating at the top. As you can see, we still got a lot of foil still attached. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a good stir and just continue to let this sit. Like I said, without the air bubbler, there's no real agitation in there to kind of knock these off. So what I'm going to do is just stir these daily. But it might actually take me a couple weeks to get to where I get all these foils to come off. So just gotta be patient, and I'll come back in a couple weeks, and hopefully we got all these foils off of there. I'm gonna give it a quick stir. Got my pipe. Doing this every day should help me to knock all the foils off as they dissolve the base metals out from underneath. Okay, so we're gonna leave it for a little longer, and hopefully it only takes a week or two. All right, everybody, it's been exactly 2 weeks now. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take a look. I can definitely see there's some still attached to the sticks. However, that's okay, they should come off pretty easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and just filter out and try to get all the sticks out. I probably won't be able to fit them all into this one bucket. I might have to do this in a couple batches. But we're going to try to separate the sticks from the gold flakes in there now. Alright, let's get started. Going to want to make sure you wear a face mask for this. You don't want any of this stuff splashing up on you, because it's still pretty nasty stuff. Show you what we got here. Alright, just going to start pouring it into the bucket. I don't know if you can get a good view of that. You can see we got a ton of gold flakes down there. I'll get a better shot of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, rinse off what we can. Now I'm going to use distilled water to rinse it off initially, because I don't want any tap water with any chlorine going in and mixing in with that hydrochloric acid. I can start to form chlorine gas, which could start to put the gold into solution. So I'm going to start off with this, and I'll show you how I'm going to try to knock the rest of them off. Alright, looks like they're pretty clean. Alright. So I'm going to take this over here. I'm going to start to hose these down with a water hose, hopefully knocking off a lot of these gold flakes.
Alright, it's going to be a little bit of a process. What I'm going to start doing is start picking out the ones that they're already off on and just start getting rid of them. As you can see, this is going to be quite a process. So I'll get back to you here in a little bit. Alright, it's time for us to get the second batch. See all that. What I've done here is there's been quite a few sticks that still has some gold attached to it. So I'm just going to put it in here, and I'm either going to leave it set in there for a little bit longer, or I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with Aqua Regia. I don't know, I'll see how much longer this takes me, how much more time I want to spend on this. Okay, I'll go ahead and start filtering this out. Alright, right now I'm going to start trying to combine my flakes. Start with this one. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to take this filter, got a nice clean bucket here. Spray the filter clean. All right. I'm going to take this and run it through the same filter here. Okay, we're just about done filtering now. As you can see, we got a ton of gold flakes in there. I expect about the same amount in this one. But as you can see, a lot of my ram sticks here still have a lot of gold on them. So what I could do is I could put it all back into the acid solution and just let it set for maybe even a couple more weeks just to get them all off. Probably be the most cost efficient thing to do, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put it back in one of my 5-gallon buckets and go ahead and hit it with some Aqua Regia. Since I'm doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and put even all my flakes back in there. So really I just wanted to show you this is a technique that you can use to separate all the gold in a little bit more cost efficient way, using just hydrochloric acid and hydrogen peroxide. But at this point I'm just ready to have all the gold from my ram sticks. So I'm just going to hit everything with Aqua Regia right now, get it filtered out and take it back into my garage and process it the rest of the way. Okay, so as soon as this is done filtering, we're going to start hitting it with Aqua Regia. Okay, just going to get all of our sticks transferred into here. It's a nice bit of gold flakes right here. Okay, I'm still waiting for this one to finish a little bit. That's okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour the hydrochloric acid on it. My impatience getting the better of me. All right, we're going to start adding in our nitric acid. All right, so let that do its thing. All right, this is only about 20 minutes into it. You can see we got a lot of reaction going on, a lot of brown smoke. All right, so this process shouldn't take too long. Okay, it's only about 30 minutes into it. Pretty sure I got all my gold flakes dissolved. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and filter it right here. Then I'm going to take it into my garage. I'm not going to film the filtering. I think we all pretty much know how that's going to go. I'll have it in my beaker in the garage and we'll finish the process. Okay, welcome back. I'm back into the garage. Got everything filtered in here. However, I'm going to take everything and filter it through my Buckner funnel. I got 2 large coffee filters in here. So a couple things I'm going to do before I start filtering. So the first thing is I'm going to take our solution, add a little bit of sulfuric acid, and if any lead found its way in there, this will precipitate out the lead and I'll get it out in this last filtering here. Another thing I want to do real quick, I'm going to take a stannous chloride test. So if you can see, I got kind of a neon green on there. So I'm going to take a test of it here just to see. Oh yeah. As you can see, it turns dark black. That means this solution is loaded in gold. Alright, so it looks like we're on the right track. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of sulfuric acid and start filtering.
Doesn't take a whole lot. You see, we get a lot of smoke. Alright, I'll go ahead and start filtering. I'm going to very carefully start pouring this in. Okay, we're over at the fume hood now. Next step, we're going to be adding some urea. Kill off any excess nitric acid that's still lurking around in there. Got to be real careful, this will run away on you. See, we're getting a reaction now. I'm going to stop for a second. Alright, it's calming down. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay, we got it neutralized. Now I'm going to start adding in some sodium metabisulfate. Again, nice and slow.
Okay, that should be good to go. I already see some precipitate forming at the bottom down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit overnight. Come back tomorrow, hit it with Aqua Regia again, and see what kind of yield we got. All right, see you tomorrow. Okay, everybody, it's the next day. So right now I have not touched or disturbed. I can see a pile of gold dust forming at the bottom down there. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to touch or disturb this in any way. I'm going to siphon all this top liquid out. That's going to make filtering it a lot easier. Otherwise, this would take a long time. So I'm going to try to just leave all the dust settled at the bottom and just get all the liquid on the top off.
Take our tube. All right. And we're just going to take it over and get it all filtered out.
All right, next we're just going to filter this out.
Okay, right now I'm going to add a little splash of hydrochloric acid to clean it off a little bit. Okay, I've got everything all filtered out now. So normally I would do a double Aqua Regia treatment with something like this, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it in with our gold from the first video. So we got nearly 1 gram of gold here. I'm going to mix this in with it, and then we'll get a weight on it. And what we'll do is at the end of the series of the e-scrap refining, I'm going to just refine all the gold that I get from all my e-scrap together. So when I do that, I'll record it with silver, do a double Aqua Regia treatment to ensure we got 99.9% pure gold. But to save acid, I'm just going to go ahead and melt all this together, and then we'll get started on our third series.
Okay, first, I got a brand new crucible, so I'm going to add a little bit of borax. Help it not to stick. have to clean my tip real quick.
Okay, welcome back. All right, so we're just finishing up our ram sticks. So as you can see, we got a nice little button going from that. All right, so now time to get a weight on it. All right, 9.3. All right, so we got a nice little yield out of that one. All right, so as you recall from the previous video, we ended up with 0.96. So let's go 9.3 minus 0.96. So out of our ram sticks, for over 2 kilos, we got 8.34 grams. All right. So what I've done here is I'm going to keep doing this throughout my E-scrap series. You can see we started with 0.46. The circuit ends got us 0.5. Now the ram sticks got us 8.34. All right, so right now we're totaling 9.30 grams. Okay, so yeah, I could have let it sit in the buckets for a couple more weeks. It probably would have been a little bit more cost efficient for me to do that. However, I just wanted to go ahead and get this one done. I got a nice little yield, about 2 grams every 500 grams of ram sticks. So that's pretty good. Again, this is pretty close to 24 karat. It's definitely not quite. I will refine the entire button at the end of all my e-scrapping series. So right now, we're at 9.30 grams. We will continue the series next with our CPUs. Okay, thanks for watching.